Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And today I'm doing a review on Doom Patrol, episode 5 and episode 6. Episode 5 is Dada Patrol, and then episode 6 is 1917 Patrol. Before I get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and then you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Like D always says, podcast link down in the description. Like, follow, subscribe. So I do want to apologize because I did not do a review last week for episode 5 of Dada Patrol because I was out of town on vacation. I was at a bachelor party for my friend where I'm going to be a groomsman in his wedding. And, I took a break. I left my laptop and all that stuff at home because it's like, hey, we record so many videos and do so many interviews. I was just like, hey, I'm chilling. So I wanted to go ahead and do both of these together instead of doing Dada Patrol early in the week, because I felt like I could just go ahead and kill two birds in one stone. So Dada Patrol, pretty much Laura, Madame Rouge, she sends the heroes on a quest to find out who the Sisterhood of Dada is. And when they go there, they end up encountering other metahumans who use their abilities to talk with them. I really like the guy that was talking to Cyborg, and it's just like this man was sitting here, telling Cyborg some real life stuff about himself as a person and whatnot. And I like how Cliff, he was talking to the one girl who was stuck inside of a box, and she was speaking in Japanese, and Cliff, he didn't understand Japanese, but he was able to understand her, and then he was able to speak Japanese. So I thought that was pretty cool. There really wasn't that much action on this episode. It was just more of us trying to find out who the Sisterhood of Dada is. I thought it was interesting when Diane, not Diane, I meant Jane. Diane is the actress. I did this on the Stargirl review too, where I had said one of the actresses' names instead of saying the character's name. But Jane, she's talking with the leader of the Sisterhood of Dada, and she's pretty much just telling them like, y'all don't need to trust Laura, because Laura, she isn't the person that you think that she is. So yeah, you had that on that episode. Also in this episode, because Rita, she doesn't go with them. The people that go on this mission is Jane, Larry, Cliff, and Cyborg. Rita and Laura, they end up staying at the house, and Rita is trying to figure out why was she in this film footage. So Rita, she ends up working on the time machine, and she ends up going back into the past in 1917, which is the next episode, 1917 Patrol. And when Rita, she goes back to the past, she has amnesia, so she doesn't know who she is, where she came from. She only has a piece of paper with Laura's name written up there, and going to the Bureau of Normancy. So she ends up appearing in 1917, and the first thing that happens is just a lady outside with a hook. She has a hook in her hand, and she's asking questions. The Bureau, they end up showing up, and pretty much what the Bureau does here is that they find metahumans, and they take the metahumans to the Bureau, and that's when we're introduced to Laura. Because the reason why Rita gets taken is because she says Laura's name, and she says, that's who I am. And they're just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Because they already know who Laura is. So they take Rita, she talks with Laura, she uses her powers in front of her, and Laura, who is Madame Rouge. So we see why Madame Rouge was in the time machine, you know what I'm saying? So we see in this episode who the Sisterhood of Dada is. The characters who were in Dada Patrol, they are in this episode, and they're metahumans. We find out we don't find out their backstories like that, but we're just introduced to them. We find out more about them and who they are with the Sisterhood. And we see here that, Laura, Madame Rouge, we see her use her ability that she's able to transform into whoever she wants to transform into. Oh, also too, when Rita goes back to the past, the brain is there, and I can't remember the gorilla's name, but they see the time machine, and I feel like that this is going to lead into why they hired the guy to take out Rita, because they felt that she was a threat. But I feel like that the Rita that they wanted to kill, it wasn't the real Rita, it was Madame Rouge, who was acting like Rita. And then this is something else too that I was thinking about, that because Rita, she went back into the past and she ended up having amnesia. I think that's the reason why Laura, Madame Rouge, has amnesia as well, because she ends up going to the future. And I just believe that when it comes to time travel in this universe, that's one of the side effects, is that you just have amnesia and you don't remember anything. But it was interesting seeing Rita interact with everybody in the Sisterhood of Dada. It seems like that they're a tight-knit family, very similar to the Doom Patrol. And I enjoyed seeing the meta abilities that they all had. Now, back to what I was saying about with Laura, she is the person that either sends the metahumans out to the field so that way that they can fight for the Bureau, or she sends them saying that they're not a weapon, and then they pretty much just have to stay at the Bureau and they are pretty much just clean up. Like they're in the basement, they have their area where they're at. The people that are there, they call them freaks and treat them like they're nothing, and it's very sad. And just seeing like how they're treated and whatnot, and then seeing like how they are when they're together with each other. Like they have like their own little safe space that they go to, where nobody from the Bureau is able to come and mess with them. And I liked one of the moments where they were all dancing and they were singing the song, and then all of a sudden the Lady Gaga song started playing, and I thought that was awesome in this episode too. Now, I know I've been talking about Rita and Sisterhood of Dada and all that stuff. Also too, we see the logo that they make and all this other stuff, but I want to go back to the present time now, because in the present time we have Jane, who is talking to Kay, and Kay, she's ready to be the main controller of the body and go into the real world. You got to remember, Kay, she's been inside of I can't remember the thing that they're in where all the personas are, but she's been inside this thing now for so long, and she really wants to go out to the world. She wants to take control of the body, and she goes out there, she buys shoes, she rides a bike. The other personas, they're nervous, they're scared for Kay, because it's like, Kay, she's never been out here into the real world before, and they just think that something's going to happen to her, but nothing happens to her. She's completely fine. She has a fun time. She ends up bringing the bike back to the world with her and whatnot. So it was just interesting seeing that, and just seeing her, have her moment. I feel like Kay had her moment. Vic, he has his moment where he goes to the mountain, where he shares that moment with his mom. And Vic, he's just tired of being looked at as a cyborg. And we saw in season 1 where it's like he was trying to go on a date with the girl. I think it was season 1. Yeah, it was season 1. He was trying to go on a date with the girl, and then once what the girl saw what he really looked like, she pretty much just clowned him. And I can understand why he wants to feel like a normal person again. So he's going to, get some synthetic skin surgery done, so that way he can look human. And it's going to be interesting to see, because this is something that we've seen in the Teen Titans cartoon, where he didn't like how he looked, because he was half man, half machine. You know what I'm saying? And then we also saw this in the Snyderverse and the Justice League movies, because he looks at himself like he's a monster. So you had that going on. You had Larry, who also in Dada Patrol, he ends up running into his son when they end up going to see the Sisterhood of Dada. and him and his son, like, they get into it, and I understand why his son is mad, but I'm glad that Larry stuck up for himself, because it's not like he didn't want to be in his wife and kids' lives, but even though he was cheating on his wife, but I mean, it's not like he didn't want to be there for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like he was messed up, you know what I'm saying? An alien bonded with him and whatnot, and you know, he has to wrap himself up because he's radioactive. So it's like, I'm glad he was able to have that heart to heart with his son, and it looks like that he was able to get through it to his son Paul. We'll see when we see it you know, unveil in further episodes. So yeah, I believe that. Oh yeah, Cliff, how could I forget about Cliff? Cliff, he is on the internet the entire episode. He's addicted to it. He's playing games. He's looking at porn with the cam girls and all this stuff. He's selling, because he runs out of money, he's selling everybody's merchandise, not merchandise, but everybody's, you know, belongings that they have in the house, so that way he can get more money. He ends up even selling the blueprints to how he was made, so that way he can make more money. And you know, it was just very funny seeing this. Like, I feel like it's always funny when you see, you know, stuff with Cliff and whatnot. So yeah, that was pretty much both of those episodes. I enjoyed both of them. For Dada Patrol, I'd give that episode an 8 out of 10. And then for 1917 Patrol, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Both were really solid episodes. And one of the things that I just love about Doom Patrol is the growth that we see and the development with all of the characters. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week. I am not doing anything next week when next week's episode airs, so there will be a review out for it. And let me know in the comments what you thought about both episodes, and let me know if you liked them, if you hated them. Let me know what your rating is for the episode. You know where you can find me, your hero Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks. On Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure that you watch some more of our reviews and interviews and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Check out our podcast, where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday. And then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.